This is Real Life TV. Mark Harvey and Trisha Harvey right here. We're talking about mortgages and bridging loan tips, but I don't think we're going to stop there. I think we're going to go further than that,
Much further than
we're going to further than that.
There's so many different ways, so much more creative.
Leverage.
Total leverage.
It's leverage. We're talking about leverage here, big leverage. How can you use leverage to fund yourself, your life, your freedom, and do it very quickly and very safely?
Yeah, but let's talk about bridging loans. When we first got into property and we were talking to our parents and told them that we were going to be buying houses using bridging loans, they were so worried. How worried? They were like, no, don't use a bridging loan. It's so dangerous and this and the other.
Well, my parents didn't say that. When I said bridging loan, I mean, I don't think they heard the word loan, and when they thought I was talking about crossing the dam down at Thornton Reservoir, which is where I grew up and where they live. So I don't think they knew anything, but I didn't do any about that.
Yeah, but I think with people's perception of bridging is that it's dangerous and scary, and
let's not project that onto them.
We're not projecting it, but initially, a lot of people's experience, or again, it's
that's the problem. There is no experience.
It's learned experience from growing up.
No, but that's the problem. There is no effective experience.
Yeah, I'm not saying
they just hear about bridge loans, and someone who's never took one ever in their life would say something.
Oh no, don't do that.
High risk. They'll just repossess your house.
Loads of percentages.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me just ask a question. Bridge loan or no bridge loan, any loan that has a security on the property, wouldn't any of them take the house?
Yeah,
Will any of them repossess it?
That's what a mortgage is.
Isn't that pretty much in the agreement
of
a loan that's got security against the property? I'm sure it is. Yeah, so look, you got to...
what's your opinion on bridging loans? So people comment and tell us what is your opinion? Because the thing is, bridging, when done, protected through a broker to find... bless you. To find you excellent deals, excellent rates based on the kind of project that you're doing. But also if it's like commercial bridging, this is a short-term loan that is done to make money. So they review the asset. They go through quite, a bit of information with you before they even consider loaning it to you. And bridging is way better than it used to be. There used to be crazy rates, and now they are really, really good because it's about working with the investor. Now, remember, they did this as well with bridging because effectively, to be a business investor in property, there's not a lot of mortgages available for the type of products that you're doing. They are doing some new things now.
By the way, we are not financial advisors. We're not advising. We're not advising you anything to do with anything in regards to what products or what methods that you need to use on this particular video right here. I don't think we'd ever do that anyway.
No.
Yeah, because what it is, we just
seek your own
advice and all the rest of it. We've got a question here. When taking on a bridging loan, it adds to the cost. Well, let me just put it up there. Yeah, adds the cost, and maybe it leads to money being left in the deal. How do you
resonate with this? So when looking at this, always when you're looking at a deal's numbers prior to obviously purchasing it, if your intention is to use a bridging facility, then just factor in those costs from the very beginning. So the offer that you make or the offer that you get accepted on the property has already built in the bridging costs and everything else. So therefore, if your intention is to take all the money out, one second.
No, because you're forgetting something.
Can't I speak?
Yes, you can, absolutely, but you're forgetting something.
What?
You're saying that when someone uses a formula to work out the strategy, where everything is, all the money and the borrowing costs and all of that has been taken into consideration, you're forgetting one thing, my dear, and that is only if they're using the real life way of doing things. So, we train this specifically step by step for you to understand all of the individual steps and areas that you need to consider to make sure that you can cover whatever happens for the deal.
Because the thing is, if that's
exactly just one last thing, so you actually know what are you doing. What are you doing?
You're doing it on purpose.
No, honestly, it's one last thing is actually then, based on working it out like that, you know exactly what you're getting into, what's going to come out, what are your exits,
what's the spend,
and what the money, what the profit's going to be before you even get into the deal.
Exactly.
Now, if you like that, write some comments. Put a hashtag. Yes, I do.
Come as a shock.
Can you not tell me why I'm giving a hashtag out there?
Oh, you're giving a hashtag.
Yeah,
sorry.
A hashtag. Yeah, let me see if this works. Yeah, so hashtag yes, I can't really remember what I said now, but just put hashtag. Just put hashtag. I know what you mean.
I look like the Grim
Yeah, who's the Grim?
Reaper.
The Grinch? The Grinch.
The Grim.
Yeah, so look, peeps.
No, but what essentially, yeah, that's what I meant. If
so
you
what's
were
your
doing
advice? I'm going to ask you
formula,
some questions, yeah? So what advice would you give, or why would you use a bridging loan? Why wouldn't you just get a mortgage? If it does cost more to do a bridging loan, why don't you just do a mortgage then? When you're doing a renovation, when you're doing a HMO conversion?
Because the types of mortgages that are available in this industry for investing and developing property, there may not be. So again, you always need to check with your broker about what deals are there at the time. But when we were doing them, there was no mortgage product available for buying a house that was just a normal house to then convert into a HMO to then refinance it commercially on the back end. There is no there was only like buy-to-let mortgages, but we can't have a buy-to-let mortgage because it's not a buy-to-let.
So here, I'm open. So like, here's the thing. Are there any products? Are there any brokers out there that are watching this, whenever you're watching this, whichever platform you're watching it on? Tell us, is that the case? Is it the case where if you're doing a total conversion, you cannot have a mortgage? It's not a residential mortgage.
No, yeah, so it's not residential, but you could do like buy-to-let mortgages. And
can you do a buy-to-let mortgage if no one's moving in though? Because you're a conversion.
Yeah, exactly.
No, so that's a question.
Buy-to-let mortgages, for example, just on one here and there, you have to have somebody in the property, like living in it within 31 days. This was one of the terms and conditions from one of the lenders we went to.
So listen, tag some more people in this, and tag this, share this wherever. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Why? Because we want more people to see this, so we can get a real discussion going and make sure that we're getting all the resources that are out there. What resources do I have? What resources do I need?
That's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, so you've got buy-to-let mortgages, and just for a lender that we went to one time, they said for using a buy-to-let to renovate it, you can only do sort of cosmetic improvements as well. So doing massive structural changes to it, they didn't really allow for the purchase of the property. And then also you had to have somebody living in, letting it within 31 days of the mortgage completion. So again, if you're doing just a quick buff and fluff on your property, that might be okay if it's just going to be a buy-to-let. But for a substantial refurb like a HMO, for example, or if you're going to buy it, renovate it and sell it, that would not be a perfect product. But again, always check with your broker based on your deal, based on your circumstance, because everybody's in a different situation, but they will know the best kind of product to suit your deal.
So we've got another question.
So what about the flips? Are you mortgage or bridging to buy other properties?
She's my boss.
Yep. So what about the flips? Are you mortgage and bridging to buy other properties?
Yeah, what about them?
Well, what's the question?
What is the question?
What about the flips regarding
the question is, what about flips? Is it the same for flips? Like if I'm going to do a flip and I'm going to change the whole property, so nobody's moving in within what time did you say? 30 days?
31 days, just for one lender, for example.
Oh, so each lender is different, right?
There is like
that's very important. Each lender is different.
Each lender is different. That's why I always check with your broker.
So what type of broker is the best broker?
So if you want to do investments commercially and run it as a business, it is a commercial broker. Yeah. But I'm just giving synopsis because you can have some residential brokers that also do entry-level commercial, which are like buy-to-let mortgages and sort of smaller bridge and development loans. Whereas for like big HMOs, if you want to be commercially mortgageable, all of those kind of big singing or dancing in development finance, things like that, you need a proper commercial broker.
Well, serious question.
So, yeah.
Why is it all singing or dancing if it's a development loan?
Because development loans are obviously on a scale of a development of a build. So
is it someone who works for the bank that comes out to dance, or do they employ someone else?
No, I do it for them.
You dance?
Yeah, and they created a gift.
That's not a habit for me. Oh my goodness! You know, she's saying she does it on site when people just lend her some money. You know? you see what people do for money. You know, no wonder our projects always seem to work. So if you want to learn how to do this, come to Real Life Property Wealth and you watch Trisha dance. If you like that, push hashtag dance. Come on.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do some dancing. I feel like dancing. Woo,
and by the way, you know, you need to tag some people, share this. I want to see who can tag the most people on this, whether you're watching it on the replay or not. If you are, hashtag replay, so then we know your comments are, then we can see what is this? I didn't sign up to this. This is not in our agreement.
Yeah,
this is not in our joint venture agreement.
I think what you got to look at is like what is your strategy, because there's other things as well, isn't there? Like mortgages and bridges. Yes, look, bridging can be tricky if you don't do it properly. So just make sure you're educated around what it is that your deal is and how to
eating a boiled egg with soldiers can be tricky if you don't do it properly.
Yeah, but I'm saying like bridging can be dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. And that's why I have a great power team. So it's not just knowledge for yourself.
Great trainers, great mentors, great tribe with masterminds, weekly masterminds. I don't know if anybody knows any, but they do group mentoring as well. If they had some one-to-one stuff, anything like that was going to be very useful to help support you on this. But I got another question. Here's a question. Yeah. Why mortgages or bridging loans or any kind of finance in the first place? Why not just buy it with cash? Especially, if I got £1 million, what would I invest it in? Someone asked me that the other day. I said, well, I do have £1 million and I'm going to invest it in myself.
Yeah, I think we do get this a lot. Yeah. So again, based on your outcome, what is it you want to do with it? Because you might have £1 million, but if you're going to put that all into just, for example, one deal, then that £1 million is completely tied up. So you can't maximize the strategies out there to bring you more income passively or capital gain. Now, the question is, yes, you are going to save the money in regards to financing, so monthly finance and interest rates and things on getting mortgages or bridging or crowdfunding or whatever strategy you use to buy these deals. But at the same time, you're going to be able to leverage and create more deals quicker. So, for example, you have £1 million. You can either put it all into one deal, for example, pay for your refurb, everything like that, save your financing costs, or you could use that £1 million and buy 5 deals. So it's by leveraging banks and bridging and things like that.
So I think what she's saying is if you're buying with cash, you're lazy. Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. You're lazy because do you want to generate serious money or not? It's like if it's lazy. It's lazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you start to make money, you got to make sure you don't get lazy. So I'm learning by watching other people that have created success and maybe took their eye off the ball. This was a big thing going through my development. I was thinking, hey, look, when you got nothing to lose, when you got, a lot of people come into Real Life Tribe, come to our trainings and our experiences and things like that. They're like, I've got to make this work. I've got no choice. But when you start to create, wealth and you've got money and all the rest of it, that's a different case. Then people can start to get lazy and they stop doing the things that caused them to have the momentum that they had.
And the success that they had.
Yeah, and the success. But here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with wanting to take your foot off the gas with one thing, but you've got to replace it with a system, with a business system and a process that will carry on generating the income, even if you're not around or if you're not doing what you were doing. Then you can move on to something bigger and better. Or a lot of people, especially the kind of people I think that we attract to come to our trainings in our tribe, they want to give back. They want to give back to other people. So based on that, I can't remember what my original point was that I was talking about. Do you remember?
Yeah, you were just saying that people that invest all their money
lazy. That's what
lazy.
It was. Yeah, so it's lazy. So because if you got the million, like what Trish is saying, then what you want to do is be able to either go bigger, because it takes the same amount of effort, like we've been saying for a long, long time already. Even whenever we start, because it's the same with a business, right? People want to play small with a business, just work by themselves, one band or something. That takes the same amount of effort as just to run a big, huge multi-million-pound company. Mm-hmm. I started off with nothing and one-man band and tried to be self-employed and all of that. And I worked and created and built businesses from nothing to multi-million-pound global organizations. It takes the same amount of effort. That's what it is. All the thing is just a different thing.
Yeah.
Same with property deals. If you're going to do a buy to let, or you're going to do a HMO conversion, or you're going to do some commercial residential, you're going to do, what is it? Whatever it is that you're going to do, it takes the same amount of effort. You've got to go through some steps of unknown. Now, if you can get some experience,
it's the fear though. A lot of the time, doing more than one deal at the same time. It's if I'm a beginner and I don't really know.
Yeah, but it is that, and that's okay.
But it's the same.
But that's okay because everyone has a different threshold too. So if you need to start small, you need to make some mistakes. Obviously, with the real life way that we do things, we create experiences to cause you to make mistakes very quickly, so you can learn in a controlled training environment. So then you can.
That it doesn't cost you.
Yeah. So then by the time you go out there, it's like, hey, wow, okay, yeah, I know these situations were going to come. Mark said that everything's going to go wrong, because it does. Everything goes wrong. You're going to need to know how to handle it when it goes wrong. Learn dealing with things, mortgages, bridge loans, when everything goes to plan, paperwork, everyone hits on time, solicitors complete when they say all of that stuff. Anybody can do that. Yeah, because the people involved will talk you through it, right?
Yeah.
It's when it doesn't go to plan, then you're going to need to know the strategies and the process in place to be able to handle it. You know what I mean?
Multiple deals.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, multiple deals is like having multiple letting units. If you have one void, the other ones will cover the void instead of it being a cost to you. If you were a landlord that only had one buy-to-let, for example, if you had a void in that, then it becomes a cost to you. So being bigger doesn't mean going crazy and being out of control. It just means, if you're thinking about it as a business, more just means that you've got more security, more diversification in your portfolio. So we have another question. I think Liliana's just cleared up what her question was. So, okay, my question was not put across well. How to properly do this? Development renovation, while development is ongoing, what's the best option to get cash out? Bridge or remortgage the property to buy others?
Yeah, so once you've finished it, you want to go on a product that is the best rate for you.
So is this something if you're looking to sell, if you want to get money out before you've sold it, you can do a sales bridge, for example. But again, check with your broker based on your deal, based on your situation, what is available to you that is, okay. But if you're selling it, for example, a sales bridge, so they refinance it so you can pull some cash out, and then when it's finished, you can put it on the market, sell it and repay that. If it's a product that is a hold strategy, buy-to-let, HMO, commercial, whatever it is, then you do a simple refinance for whatever the product switch is going to be for the new value. So yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Awesome. Next question.
So we've got a HMO mortgage with Kent Reliance that allows us to lightly develop the property, but we can't commercially remortgage until after 6 months.
It's not really
Bridge to let will be our next step. We quicken the projects. Yeah, exactly. So for example, what Tara's saying is, so if you go to somebody that's not a fully fledged commercial broker, because they've got access to the big commercial banks, more high street kind of in between residential and commercial lenders, like for example, Kent Reliance, that's a entry level mortgage for a HMO product. But like she said, it's light refurb, and then you've got that whole situation, because that's a good thing about bridging as well. You're not fixed in where you can't finish your project and get it refinanced prior to 6 months. With a mortgage, a lot of them have got the 6-month barrier. So even if you finish your project in 3 months, like the renovation, and get ready to refinance, you have to wait. So like with bridging, you don't have to do that. So there's lots of different benefits based on what your situation is and what your outcome is on the deal. So definitely get along to a real life property wealth, and we'll tell you and show you how to run the numbers, to know the outcome at the end of the deal, to know what you can spend and how you can make bridging, mortgages, crowdfunding, investor finance, dancing around with a bucket around a town centre asking for donations work for you.
I don't think I'll be doing that. Not again.
Not again.
Not anymore.
But
I actually never say that. If the situation meant that I needed to do that, I'll do that.
How excited would you all be? So I want to see some hashtag.
No, before we do because I know what you're gonna say. Before we do that, you got to realize. Listen, look, anybody who comes to like a real life live experience, because that's what it is going to learn so fast, so great, and all the rest of it. But look, because it's information is not the transformation, right? But here's what I'm going to tell. Yeah, you can only learn from experience. I said it so many times before. Like people think that experience is the best teacher. That's what they say. Experience is the best teacher. Experience is the only teacher. That's what you got to realize. So here's the thing: if you want to experience it and learn fast, you want to learn well, you want to make mistakes and learn how to handle mistakes and turn things around, then you need to do that. But we want to bring you whatever information, the best information that you can then take to use and take as forward as an experience. So information, all of this, all the YouTube channel, all our online material, which you can find how to raise finance, how to get started in property and all of that stuff. Yeah. So what Trish is going to say is, okay, I'll say it now then. Yeah. Who would be excited if we bring you the greatest and latest information around processes around like crowdfunding, peer-to-peer, the pros, the cons, what
from an industry leading expert.
Yeah, for people who has lent millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds out to people to help them in their property deals and in their businesses. So if that be useful, put hashtag crowdfunding. Hashtag crowdfunding.
Coming to also,
what about development? What about people who might want to buy, you know, blocks of either buy, build, renovate, change, convert, whatever it might be, residential flats. Commercial to residentials might be from scratch, you know,
leasehold, freehold,
all of that stuff, all of the things around development, put hashtag development. Yeah, if these are one of the things that we want to know. Yeah, because look, this mortgages, bridge loans, how to create finance, it's beautiful to understand what are even my options. Yeah, okay, look, there's a lot of people wanting the crowdfunding. By the way, if you're putting your vote in as well and you want more people, then tag some more people, share this on your timeline, share it on LinkedIn, share it on wherever else that you could share it. I don't know if you share it on Instagram, Twitter. Yeah. What about Twitter? Put it on there, you know. Take the link to this, put it in your local shop window. I don't know. Does that still work? Do people still do that? Yeah, I don't know if they do that or not.
50p a week.
Yeah.
But I think that there was a question as well. Yeah, so George was saying bridges that offer build costs, are they usually quite flexible or can they be a pain in the backside? So I think what you're talking about is a development finance loan. So it's like bridging, and also they give you the money for the refurb as well. So technically, for these type of builds, so there was just something flying in my face. So for these kind of loans, you will put a higher amount down as a deposit, but then they will give you all of the refurbishment costs, or the renovation costs, or development costs if you're building. So how these ones work, they can be really good, and loads of the real life tribe members use these kind of finance structures. They can go very, very well, but I would just advise having a very good and structured build team, because the build teams have to work with the bank for drawdown processes where sometimes it can take a little bit longer than obviously if they were just to send you the invoice and you pay them straight away. The development finance companies sometimes have to send out a quantity surveyor to check that everything's been done as you've invoiced for. Sometimes they will release funds prior to them completing the next phase, but then other banks will also require the phase to be finished to pay for that phase. So then the builders will have to be in credit with or sort of in debt with their suppliers for the materials. So it totally depends on your structure. For those kind of lending, it's brilliant and it works. Just make sure you have an excellent team, because somebody that does quotes off a fag packet is not going to work very well, I don't think, with a development finance drawdown process, because it can be a little bit tricky. And also just make sure that you've got all your other things in place, like your building control, because we, you know, in the early days, we definitely fell short of that, not having certain things or structures that we did check with our business for the builders, and we left it to them, it wasn't done, and then it affected the finance. So yeah, absolutely works, a treat, lots of tribe members using it. Good?
Mm-hmm. Why did you stop?
That's it.
What's it?
Hopefully that's answered your question. Always says, yes, I have a very good build team and I have a buffer amount to pay them, then get the money from the bank. Yeah, exactly. So sometimes you'll pay a little bit more up front, but there's a lot out there right now where they'll give you a lower. So for example, like a bridge will give us 75% of the purchase price, and then we'll pay the 25% plus the refurb. But if you get a development finance, maybe they'll give you 60% of the purchase price. So you give them 40% deposit, and then they'll give you 100% of the build costs. So it totally depends on the deal, on the bank that you're going to be working with, but it works really, really well, especially on developments. Because, for example, we bought a piece of land for 115,000. We put 55,000 down to buy it. They paid for the rest, and then they gave us the entire 120,000 to build on it as well. So obviously the percentage that you're paying is slightly more than like mortgages and even normal bridging, but it pays us back from using that leverage because we make really good time, really good money with the deal, and we didn't have to, you know, when we were weighing up investor finance or the development finance, it totally works well. See, they still gave you 70%. See, that's brilliant. Yes. Oh, thank you so much, George, for your amazing questions. So you've just created an awesome learning there. But if you want to learn more things like this out of the background, then you've got to get yourself along to Real Life Property Wealth. It is massively experiential. You can ask live things because we have certain little workshops and sessions where you can ask us live questions about live deals that are going on. We're going to be finding deals. We're going to be working with you, giving you experiences where you're actually doing it, so that when you leave the training 2 days later, not only have you transformed as an individual. I mean, listen, anybody that's on here now that's been to Real Life Property Wealth or any of the Real Life programs, how much of a personal transformation do you have in how you think, how you act, how you be?
But here's the thing, it's the combination of the strategies that are going to work for you with the amount of time, with your type of life that you live, and let's say experience. You got to understand, like, where do I start? What are the strategies? Where can I start punching? When you start punching, then you got to realize, okay, what's the area, and you know, like, where's this going to work for me, and how do I find out, how do I work out the deals, how do I work the numbers out, how do I make the numbers? Yeah, no matter where I go, whatever training anybody has ever been to, I always see that people have a challenge with the numbers. Yeah. And what then starts to happen, people start over analyzing, so they go into so much detail. They spend all the time. The deal's gone. They're not even sure about what's going on.
We did that at the beginning. I got really excited, found loads of deals. Mark's really good with the numbers and stuff, so he was like analyzing, and I was like, it's sold now, and he'd be like, oh.
So listen, you gotta understand a very quick, easy way to be able to work out, does the deal work, yes or no, what's the ins, what's the outs. Then there's like detailed breakdown of exactly how to make everything work out. Like, we did so many things over the course of 2 days. It's unbelievable. And look, this is what we want to do, is we want to provide the ticket, the seat for you for free. Yeah, but this venue we used before, it's an excellent venue, but it can only hold so many people. And I know we've already had great attention already. Yeah, great attention, great interest.
Great venue as well. They really look after you. It's a great environment.
It helps it be the experience that we intend it to be for you guys, and you guys can really get the most out of what it is that you are. So if there is anybody on here that's already been, leave your comments. If you know somebody, tag them in here. Put hashtag RLPW.
We want to see you. Look, use this time to do something different to what you've already been doing. This is going to start you off with a bang for 2020. You're going to be able to realize goals that you didn't think were possible before, because they are not a pipe dream. Everything is achievable if you are surrounded by the right network and tribe of people that give you 100% support, 100% attention. You always have somebody to talk to. You always have an opportunity to ask for help and share what challenges you might be having. That's the difference with Real Life. You have constant, accountable support for any situation, and there is yet to be some challenge yet that we have not found a solution for, because even if we don't know, we will know somebody that knows, and we will find the answer. So get yourself to Real Life Property Wealth. We will transform your life. That is a guarantee. I guarantee you won't see those 2 days ever again in your life. But
guarantee is not, because you've got to it's not guaranteed transformation.
They've got to put work in.
It's okay, don't worry, it's okay to say things out of total excitement. Look, there's not guaranteed. Why? Because you have to come and play all out. You have to come and give everything. We'll give everything. No shadow of a doubt there. But you got to come and give everything. And the combination of us giving everything we got, you giving everything you got, will create a situation for you where you're going to understand what your outcome is, how to, what strategy is going to be best for you, what all the strategies are, what are the most lucrative strategies. We always go over what's based on what we're doing, what all the tribe members are doing. You know, there is millions and millions and millions and millions of pounds of deals happening every single week throughout this tribe. Yeah, people getting offers accepted, moving forward, raising finance, joint venturing together, building other businesses. People are building sourcing businesses, letting agents off the back of this. People are joint venturing other stuff, project management companies, brokerage. You know, people got solicitors, architect businesses are being built through all of this. So it's about the 10 most lucrative strategies that are in the market, creating money and income today. Yeah, this is what Come Deal. We're creating a TV program. Come Deal with me. You're going to see it aired very soon. Now it's still top secret because it's all still going through recording. But like, this is to show you, hey, look, we're going to actually show you the money in the bank, the profit made, not just the la-di-da. Okay, this is what it is. It's all blue sky. We're going to show you the ins and outs. You know, the good, the bad, the ugly, and show you, hey, look, no matter what happens, this is how it works. But this is exactly what experience we're going to create for you in the space of 2 days to set you up so you can not just go out there and do it. We actually do it. So you already have an experience. You already have an experience. So guys, if you haven't been yet and you've been watching and you're one of those secret watchers, let me tell you something that somebody told me who recently came. Yeah, I think some people came in like last year, like July, and then it was like September or November. Yeah, what they said was that, oh my goodness, for the whole 2 years that I've been watching you guys, I wish I'd have came sooner.
Yeah.
That's what they said. That's what they said. They said everything is different now. You know, people are quitting their jobs, leaving their jobs, becoming financially free, creating beautiful incomes, and just having a increased standard of living. That's ultimately what it is. More freedom, more happiness. They feel brighter about the future. So tag some people, share it to some people. If you're one of those secret watchers, you can share it in Messenger, or you can send them a link once it's out up on YouTube and all the rest of it. But hey, listen, we want to see you there. So the 1st and 2nd of February is the next one. There's a lot of anticipation for this. Why? Because we have some new things that are in there. But even if you've been before, I mean, look, there's guys that have already been twice before and still coming back. There's people who've been 3, 4, 5 times. Yeah. Why? Because they know it will help them move forward consistently, because you've got to be persistent. And you've got to keep your ear to the ground. You've got to stay close to what's going on and stay around the energy. Hey, where are you going? Because we're going to go now. No, just come back because we're going to say bye. It doesn't matter about that. Come on. Yeah? So look, you got to remember, guys, this is real life TV. Spread the word. Subscribe to YouTube, because we're going to get to 1,000 subscribers. Then you're going to help us do that. Then we're going to give a massive, massive prize away to one of those subscribers. Oh my God, we will reveal that next week.